I went back home to Puerto Rico for 10 days and as always it was an adventure. Got a flat tire on the rental car, celebrated 10 years of marriage, got lost in the fucking rainforest.
Trail down there.
Yeah, but what is that way?
I don't know.
Where are we going?
That's the magic.
Had to shower outside, discover that this is how my wife falls asleep.
I've been like, mama.
Contemplated life all by my lonesome, had a lot of coffee,
Volkswagen.
had a lot of food, and a lot of fucking medalla. This time we stayed at 3 separate locations. Went to the movies twice, got in a car accident with a retired CIA agent, felt like leaving.
I don't think I should be here right now, you know?
We didn't leave early, we did more touristy stuff, but at some point it did feel like mugging people, literally.
And I can't help but feel like, oh, I can mug these people, you know?
Yes, I know I got problems, which is probably why I also got pulled over.
Beautiful.
That interaction definitely could have gone smoother, by the way, but between having to do housework, not understanding why all the urinals in Puerto Rico are too fucking tall, and family dinners, I think it was a good overall vacation. It made me realize just how much I purely love Puerto Rico. But with that love comes so much fucking dislike. And no, I'm not talking about fucking mosquitoes. That would be number 27 on the list. But we have to start where it always starts, at the fucking airport.
There's the other airports, you know?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, now's as good a time as any for me to tell you that I absolutely hate flying. A few months ago, I was forced to take 6 flights in 15 days, which led me to going to my doctor and asking for Xanax. And she delivered.
I'm sneaky with it, you see? No one knows.
No one knows what.
The fears.
They worked for the most part, though. I woke up in the middle of the flight where we were having a 50-foot free fall out of fucking nowhere. Now, I was fully unaware of the exact location of our Airbnb type of apartment that we would be staying that night, but it was 2 o'clock in the morning and I found myself heading towards, you guessed it, the ghetto. Correct, we stayed in the ghetto.
Is that the same key you used
No.
here?
I don't know whose fucking dream this is, but it's not mine.
Allow me to explain my little Dreamers reference there. You see, we actually got this place from a website called Dreamers Welcome, where they take old fucked up houses, they fix them up, and then they rent them to you. Airbnb style and Airbnb prices. They don't tell you the exact location of the place until 24 hours before your stay. My wife looked at the email, I didn't. All I saw was pictures of the interior. If she would have told me it was in the middle of Santurce, Puerto Rico, I would have said fuck. No disrespect to the people of Santurce, Puerto Rico. I'm sure that your pueblito is beautiful within its own right. But where I was staying, on one corner of the block, I had a Walgreens. And on the other corner of the block, I had where Frankie Ruiz used to get his cura. You know what I'm saying? So, I wasn't particularly happy that I was being charged $250 a night. Now that said, the spot was actually genuinely cool, alright? I have no complaints about what the place looked inside. It looked very fresh, very modern. It didn't have the muggy feel of an Airbnb, of lazy people taking care of it. It didn't have the muggy feel of almost every single hotel, motel in Puerto Rico. It felt cool. In the next moment you're about to see, my wife was telling me to take it all in and enjoy our 10-year anniversary celebration.
Living 10 years. Cheers to that.
It's more of a, you know,
I couldn't help myself.
like let's say, because this happened to me. Let's say you have a job and you've been at that same job for 10 years. But the increments haven't been that great. The benefits are, you go to the doctor, you still gotta pay shit, you know, there's no bonuses come Christmas time. It's like,
You get
should you be
lasagna.
happy that you've been in the same position?
You get lasagna.
Do you know how people raise their value? Like,
How?
they switch jobs. They switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. You get a new job, and that's how you get paid more and valued more.
So what you're saying is
I need a new job.
Yes, I like to fuck around with my wife. And I have to say, despite this place being located in the ghetto, it's in the right ghetto. Why? Because location, 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 right? That's what real estate is all about. Puerto Rico es 100 por 35. That's 100 miles by 35 miles. And this place being in Santurce, it is 10 minutes away from the beach. A 10-minute walk to Ocean Park or a 5-minute car ride. I wouldn't recommend walking though because, as I mentioned before, we're in the ghetto. Ratatata. I literally sat there in silence for a couple of minutes just taking in all the sounds. People love to talk about how beautiful Puerto Rico looks, but no one actually talks about how beautiful Puerto Rico sounds. It's amazing. Now, some people would argue that the reason you can come to Puerto Rico and always have a good time is because of the views, it's because of the weather, it's because of our sexual dancing. No, it's actually because of the food, but not that the food is the best in the world. To you, it might not be, but it's so readily available. Alright, if you have $5 in Puerto Rico, you got a full fucking belly. Normally, when I argue with my wife, one of us is fucking hungry. Here, that doesn't happen because you take 5 steps, there's a restaurant. You take another 5 steps, there's a chinchorro. You take another 5 steps, there's a fucking food truck. There's always food. Being a little older now and maybe a little wiser, going to El Viejo San Juan hits different because it's not the architecture that I'm only appreciating. Now I appreciate the graffiti most of all because graffiti to me is the voice of people of today and architecture the art of people of yesterday. You see, I grew up with a lot of delinquents, a lot of drug dealers that are mostly dead now, and none of them were graffiti artists. So that made me start thinking, who are these people that are plastering the walls and what are they actually trying to say? They're yelling at you messages of help, of need, of what the fuck is going on. And that got me to understand why everyone in Puerto Rico drinks. You see, these beers were $1.50 a pop. I finally realized that it's cheaper to drink than it is to worry, which immediately made me want to mug people. So, I keep seeing all these weaker looking white people around, Viejo San Juan. And I can't help but feel like, oh, I could mug these people, Hello? Like I told you, like I feel like I want to mug them. I'm not a mugger, but it's like you look so out of place that it's like you muggable right now, Like even a person that doesn't mug people would mug you. Clearly I needed coffee. What the fuck am I talking about? I shouldn't want to mug white people because in some direct fucking way I feel like they're responsible for Puerto Ricans feeling down about themselves and how they weren't able to govern themselves. And now, even though we do govern ourselves in quotation marks, we still are riddled with laws not made by us that we have to abide to. Yeah, I'm not mad about that at all. And these shoes are ugly as fuck. They're called wedges, and every single Puerto Rican woman wears them thinking that they're actually nice looking. And I love the movies. We were at the mall because, as you saw in the previous part where we were in Old San Juan, I was sweating my ass off. We walked into this Walgreens, and I thought it was weird. They had weird foods at weird prices. Why is Cheese Whiz so expensive but Fiji water so cheap? I don't know.
Oh, this is nice though, Junior. Don't I look more relaxed than you did?
Yeah.
I do, right? Oh.
So the place we were staying at essentially had a secret room that you had to answer a couple of questions to get in. Everything was Andy Warhol related, so we answered questions about Andy Warhol by Googling the fucking answers and we got in.
I think that's somebody else's apartment, by the way.
Yeah, there's 2 rooms that.
You should really have that locked. Are you recording that?
I am.
See, there's 2 rooms with access to the secret room. The other people didn't close the door behind them, and it does say, please remember to close the door behind you. I obviously did, you will see. But what the fuck does Andy Warhol have to do with Puerto Rico? I was very confused. I was perplexed being in this room looking at the banana that when you peel it, it's green. Who gives a flying fuck? I as sure hell didn't. Like, I didn't understand. Why the fuck should I care about Andy Warhol? At the very least, make it about Basquiat. At least he was half Puerto Rican. So yeah, it has a secret room that I'll never go back into. looks worse without the slow-mo. I know, but you're welcome. Allow me to reintroduce you to my wife, who takes pictures of herself, creating outfits in the room, cuts herself out of those pictures, then puts herself into her notes in her phone, explaining the outfits and where she could wear it to, and then one day, bam, it's real. That's amazing. Also, kinda silly. Earlier that day, we had spotted a restaurant called Raíces en el Viejo San Juan. It means roots, and we decided this is where we're eating tonight, and so it was. Now, I did something that I never thought I would be having to do in Puerto Rico, which was wait 45 minutes to get inside a fucking place just to eat. I'm waiting to spend money to eat. Okay, no problem. I'm from Jersey. I'm kind of used to it. Cool. The food was great. The drinks were good. The wait staff was great. The ambiance was, it's Puerto Rico, so it was good. They sang happy birthday to everyone in the fucking restaurant, though. That happened about 5 times in the 45 minutes that we were there. At some point, you're gonna have to ask for ID. If your birthday wasn't 7 days ago or 7 days from now, we're not singing fucking happy birthday. We're annoying the shit out of everyone else in the restaurant. But like I said, I had no problem with this place until I got the bill. It was $100, alright? And luckily I had it, I could pay for it, no problem. But who else can pay for this? Not the people of Puerto Rico, surely. I was just talking about earlier how the key to happiness on a trip to Puerto Rico is that you could find food for $5. You take 5 steps, $5, you're getting like alpuria, empanadilla, whatever the fuck. Why am I paying $100 at this place? It didn't make any sense. And then, can a Puerto Rican afford this? A person that's working in Puerto Rico, minimum wage being $9.50? No, they can't fucking afford it. How many hours do you have to work for one fucking meal? And then Puerto Ricans, when we go out, we gotta buy clothes. 16% tax on fucking everything that you buy in Puerto Rico. It's not making any sense, and that got me to thinking the astronomical differences a block makes in Puerto Rico. Like I said, I was staying in the ghetto, but you saw the place inside, right? It doesn't seem like the ghetto. There's little spots like that. Why? Because the gringos are taking over. Okay, let me calm down. It's nighttime already. Trying to close out the day. We took another little walk in El Viejo San Juan, and we went back to the place. And that's when I discovered how my wife falls asleep.
I've been like, mama. Eu dormi até que até pausa aí, bro.
Theoretically speaking, a shower outside sounds like an amazing euphoric idea. But then you notice that you're not showering alone. You are showering with the ghost of a dead bird. Not cool.